Hello, everyone in social distancing land. My name is Chris Carr, aka Parnhashnikovsky, aka Black Kink Man, aka I have survived 2 assassination attempts, and you are watching the Post Weekly Daily News. In world news, the government has released footage of aliens. I really wasn't ready for this. I actually wasn't prepared. We're still on lockdown from coronavirus. I couldn't be outside to get my butt probed. In entertainment, Drake has dropped a new song, The Tootsie Slide. It's ironic that the most moist, softest, mixed Canadian rapper has dropped the hardest street gang anthem of the summer. Somebody get this man a therapist. He might be bipolar. And the polar caps are melting. In the Americas, there was a coup in Venezuela that was unsuccessful. Or was it unsuccessful? Was the goal of that coup to take over a country with a failing economy, social unrest, and is hated by the United States? Or just to get on the news and be hood famous? Because the news is the world's first social media outlet, and journalists are just paid influencers. In US news, there are 2 different Americas. One where there are a bunch of Greenwich villagers not socially distant, and the cops distribute masks and water and make sure they have a good time. And another America where on the Lower East Side, the cops distribute fines, ass beatings, and they arrest folks. I wonder why these communities are treated differently. What could it be? It's total Yakubery. Keep in mind that a week ago, a bunch of gringos with guns showed up at the door of the governor in the State House of Michigan, and they were lauded as freedom fighters. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? In Georgia, a man was shot for jogging. I'm truly confused. A man was lynched for running? Isn't that one of the only things black people are celebrated about in America? Black people were brought from Africa to America, enslaved. Slave was bred with slave to create the more magnificent slave. Events were created pitting slave versus slave. Bets were placed on the slave's physical prowess, normally based on running. And now this man was gunned down for what? His running scared white people? What doesn't scare white people? They're afraid of black people running. They're afraid of black people waiting. They're afraid of black people sitting. They're afraid of black people with guns, black people without guns. They're afraid of black people getting tickets. They're afraid of black people getting married, black people selling cigarettes, black people social distancing. Oh, I know. They're not afraid of black people staying at home. Unless they're a cop, they're drunk, and they walk into the wrong apartment and shoot an innocent man in his own living room because he's confused for being a burglar. In science news, researchers are working on a vaccine for the coronavirus. It seems that folks are anxious to end the stay-at-home order. Certain folks have stayed at home while other folks were shot, hanged, denied loans, had their neighborhoods redlined, dealt with guns, drugs, and HIV introduced in their communities. But now, you're anxious to get out and protest. Now you are calling for an immediate development of a vaccine. What will the clinical trials be called? Tuskegee Experiment 2020? I'll pass. Test that on a giraffe or in a community that hasn't already been a part of your previous fun and games. Well, there you have it, folks. The Post Weekly Daily News. I'm your host, Chris Carr, and see you next week.